it didn't do well in the box office at all because he was he was a darker character. People have trouble with that, which is strange, you know?
Well, he's doing it because he wants to stretch.
Yeah, exactly, and he should. I mean, we all know that's what bothers me about all those actors is we've seen them. They're very competent, capable actors, you know, and they've proved themselves. And it's just like, ugh, you don't need to make, you know. I think that there's a fourth Mission Impossible. Basically, every sequel possible is going to happen.
Oh well,
and they're going to reboot every series.
Big money. I love talking movies with you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's great. Have you seen Bad Dreams? It's an older movie.
No.
And Doubt with Meryl Streep and Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes, I have seen that.
I watched it the other night for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great actor.
Yep.
She's a great actress.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like him, but I'll watch his movies because he's good.
Right, okay.
I don't like him, especially in Talented Mr. Ripley. I wanted to, like, throw things at him.
Well, luckily it does happen. He does get cracked on the head eventually with a...
Yes.
Yeah, that's...
he's, you know...
That's also the best Hitchcock movie that Hitchcock didn't make, in my opinion.
Think?
It's one of them. I think it's one of the better suspense movies, and it has a kind of a Hitchcock feel to it.
But, there's no redemption. Like...
Yeah, the end is not a very Hitchcock.
I didn't like the end. I didn't like where, what happened, and I didn't think it had to go that way. And it was also too weird that the girl would be on the boat.
Yeah, there was a lot of circumstantial things that happened that are too much, but I mean, in terms of, I think what reminds me of the Hitchcockness of it is that the suspense builds it's very strange. It starts out, it's only just an air. I remember that was a movie where I didn't know what happened at all, and I saw it in the theater. And when the major plot point that happens, a murder takes place in the movie, and I remember being so surprised in how brutal the murder was and how realistic it was. Like, you could totally understand that's like a big flaw in a lot of movies, is that somebody kills someone and you're like, why would you do that? Or they don't react to it properly after. Like, if you killed somebody, I'm pretty sure it'd be like a kind of a tough thing to get through, and he
was a total sociopath.
Right, and he definitely, like, there are scenes with him struggling with it where other movies kind of like don't bother with that. And then the whole, the whole subplots of his sexuality is a very Hitchcock thing, to play with that one on like all the gender roles and everything. But yeah, that's a great movie, and made by the late great Anthony Minghella.
Oh, I didn't know he's gone.
He died, sadly, yes. And he did The English Patient is what his biggest critical success.
Now, Hitchcock, such a master. People emulate him, and they just can't duplicate him.
Yeah, there's a strange thing about, especially that I think comes from the time period of movies then, that you could have implausibilities in the movie, but it's so movie-ish, his movies, you know what I mean? It takes place within his world. Like that, where if something happens that seems coincidental, you're just on board because he visually is so good and he gets such great actors, and he just puts it together so well that you're always, they seem fresh, because he convinces you of the world, and then, it's interesting how even his biggest blockbusters still hold up, and there are movies you can go back to and they don't even make sense, like you can't identify with them at all. But then there are movies from the 40s that...
I just want to let you know we're going to be stepping up for just a minute.
Okie dokie.
Thank you. How goes?
It's great.
We're having fun.
We are.
Good. You must have fun. Now it is time to have fun.
That's Steve. He runs this joint.
On March 23rd, the TAMI show comes out, Collector's Edition, on Shout Factory. We're going to have TAMI. It was the Tammy Show. We call it the Tammy Show.
What is TAMI?
It had the Rolling Stones. It had the Supremes. It had...
oh my goodness, look at this. The Beach Boys, Chuck Berry.
This thing was huge. Now, Buzzy Linhart was very impressed with you, and especially your speech about singles from albums, soundtrack albums.
Okay.
This movie, I watched it again the other night. I can't really. We're not going to critique it for another week or so because it's not going to be out for another month, March 23rd. So we're not supposed to talk about it too much. But I can tell you this: had they put a soundtrack out, I mean, look at the stars on it. It would have been a monster, and that's what the movie would have been, a monster had it had a soundtrack.
Well, I don't understand why.
I know.
Is it a document? It's like a concert video, right?
It's a concert video with Jan and Dean. The late Jan and Dean Torrance is still alive. Jan and Dean were a duo that the Beach Boys, they kind of did Beach Boys kind of things. A little old lady from Pasadena. And so Jan and Dean are the hosts. But you've got the Barbarians from Boston. My good friend Molty is going to be on the show, people. So Molty should be here in the studio. Oh, you know what?
This is amazing, though. So it was just one. It's just one of the rarest concert events captured on film, as they said. And Shout Factory, they put out a lot of good stuff.
Well, they're the old Rhino Records.
Yep.
They're the old Rhino.
They put out Freaks and Geeks, that DVD. That show, which was I think it was on ABC, but it got canceled after its first season, but it has a really big cult following, and they had a lot of trouble getting it released because it had a lot of songs on it that they had to get the rights to, and Shout Factory backed them and got everything going and helped release it. So that's where I know the name from. They definitely put out a good quality product and go out of their way to get, hard to find things.
The old Rhino did a fine job, and they've got the Dick Cavett shows with Joplin and Bowie and George Harrison. Really fine stuff. I love Shout Factory.
Yeah, that's cool. And
we'll do a whole special on the Tammy show.
I don't understand. I still don't know TAMI.
I don't know what it means either. They never tell you.
It was filmed in the Santa Monica Civic Arena in 1964.
That means I was 10 years old, people. Oh.
Yes.
You
weren't at this show?
No, I wasn't at this show. I went to my first show with Elton John when I was like 17.
Oh.
Music hall.
My first concert was Metallica. I saw at the Garden.
Now, there's two different. Yeah. That's as different as you can get.
Yeah, that's pretty different. I probably went and saw. That was my first big rock concert. But I think I saw Pearl Jam next. So there we go. That's a nice big one. No, at Great Woods. I'm calling them what they were when I was there. That's the only way I can remember. But they were big bands. And I don't think I've ever seen a show like the Metallica show since in terms of theatrics. The whole stage exploded as part of the show, and some guy came running out of the pit on fire, like things had gone terribly wrong. And
real fire?
Real fire. There was a guy on fire, and then they put him out, and a guy fake fell from the rafters, and there was sparks up in the rafters. It was ridiculous. It was amazing.
Now in Boston, Boston was one of the states where you couldn't have fire, so they had to get special permits for shows like that.
Really?
Because
they shouldn't have. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a bad idea.
Because of the big, there was a big nightclub.
Yeah, Great White.
No, before that.
Oh, Coconut Grove.
Coconut Grove, thank you. Which is just a few yards from where I met Alfred Hitchcock when he came in for Frenzy. I took his photo back in the day.
What was he doing in Boston for Frenzy?
The promotion, just like Michael. Yeah, we interviewed Michael Moore recently. When they were on the promotional tour, you can meet them.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing. And we're there, people, with visual radio. We get some Ozzy Osbourne footage. We didn't meet him, but we got the photo. He was just standing very close, like where that chair is from me, but that was pretty fun. But the thing is, Hitchcock, the fire, the Coconut Grove, the old Sac 57 is where Hitchcock was, and behind it in Bay Village, Legal Seafoods.
Mm-hmm.
Right there is where the Coconut Grove was, and there was one door, and people died in this fire.
Yeah, because they could not get out. There weren't enough fire exits.
And there was only one exit, and it was jammed, and they were all, that was pretty much it. When something like that happens, a state like Massachusetts, they make it very strict. Very, very strict. So it's very hard for KISS to have their pyrotechnics in Boston. And the show has to change. Who's that behind us?
That's Cary Grant.
Oh, that's Cary? In what movie?
Running from an airplane, a crop duster in North by Northwest.
Ah.
He looks right about the right size, too, that he would fit right in here.
Yeah. See, I look like Cary in his 50s. That's me. So
yeah. I look like Cary Grant if he were a 14-year-old girl. That scene's great. That scene holds up.
Although you know and I know what's really happening there.
Yeah, that's a little plane. Oh, wait, what do you mean? In terms of the movie magic or in terms of...
The movie magic, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the tie. Give me a break. You know, is that a fan going or what? You know?
Yeah, that tie probably has like a metal rod in it so that it stays back.
I'm so cognizant of when the movies are really... the driving scenes in the cars really get me. Just get in a car and videotape it.
No, but... Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm tired of them scenes.
Yeah, of the scenes where they just shoot the car on a green screen. They pass a few lights by every once in a while.
And they've gotten good with it with computer graphics, of course.
Yeah, that stuff isn't that bad. They've definitely gotten better at it. But you can't just drive around because then you have to drive. And you have to have your actors driving. I mean, I agree with you. I would never shoot anything not in a real car. But if you're in a studio and everything, you can control your environment so much. They basically just do this. They put a car in front of one of these. But the cut is even better, which is...
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have a green... duh.
Okay. Yeah, they basically do this. And they put a car in the background.
If Robert wants to come back on, I don't want to take all the time up.
He's okay.
Talk Harry Potter.
Who's here?
What?
Is Ben here?
No, George Cheever back.
Oh. Ah.
We're talking film here on the Soapbox, and Robert's got his Harry Potter shirt on. I love the Harry Potter movies. I think they're so well done.
Yes. I was, at first, the books came out when I was in college, and you would see, like, adults on the T reading them, and I would just be like, ugh! I don't know, it just made me mad. It was like, grow up, when you read such a stupid book for kids, People are like, I'm reading, That was the feeling I had when I first saw them. Like, these are little kids' books. Have some respect for yourself. It's like I have a Game Boy, but I can't play the Game Boy on the train because I have too much. It's just too ridiculous looking. So I couldn't believe seeing people with the hardcover books going nuts reading them. And then I saw the fourth movie opening night. Somebody was like, "Oh, come with me." I hadn't seen anything. I didn't know the story. I just got dropped in.
The fourth movie. Okay.
The fourth one, which was The Goblet of Fire. And I was blown away. I had no idea how...
Great movie.
Yeah, how great it is, how great the production design is, how well shot and directed they are, and how, man, they got lucky that all those kids turned out to be able to act. Yeah. They could have been... Yeah. Because the Chronicles of Narnia, man, they threw a bunch of silly kids together, and none of them panned out,
Chronicles wasn't as bad as the Last Action Hero, which had to be the worst child acting job of all time.
Yeah, that kid's amazing.
Oh, awful. Awful.
No, I don't even think the people in Narnia were that bad, but they didn't gel as a cast the way the other ones did. Right. And, the second one, basically, they were originally going to do, 7 books, and now they're going to do 3, I think. They were going to do...
Narnia?
Yeah, they were going to do all there's 7 books, but I think they were going to break it into 5 or 6 movies, and now they're only going to do 3 because they've done the second one, and it didn't do very well. But, yeah, it's just because I remember looking at the kids, I was like, man... Nobody's going to want to look at these kids for another 4 movies. That was the feeling I got. But when you watch the Harry Potter movies, it was like, all right, everybody's getting better each movie. And, and then the recent Harry Potter movies have been, I've loved how dark they've been and not watering them down,
No, they are dark.
Yeah.
You know what was a bit of a letdown for me back in the 60s when I was on a bus in Somerville? I think I was in Somerville, and... a woman was reading Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And on the bus, someone had put a black sticker, probably the movie company, and it said, "Pray for Rosemary's Baby."
Yeah.
What a great marketing ploy. It's just a black little sticker. Pray for Rosemary's Baby. It really got you thinking, what the heck is this?
Yeah. And then they plant that woman to sit on the train all day and read the book just to get... Was she really pretty?
Point.
Maybe she was a PR.
She was pretty, and, she's reading Rosemary's Baby, and it's like, okay. But... the movie, to me, with Mia Farrow was okay. It could have been a lot better. It didn't get to the level of Harry Potter. You know what I'm saying? The book was like one of the biggest books of the year.
Okay, I didn't know how popular the book was at the time.
It was huge. Rosemary's Baby was just a huge book about witchcraft in New York, and the husband wanting to be an actor selling his wife's child to Satan.
To benefit his film career.
Yes. And,
perfectly performed there by director and actor John Cassavetes. That was a perfectly creepy performance there.
And Ralph Bellamy's awesome.
Yep. What's her name there?
Mia Farrow?
And then the older woman, Ruth Gordon.
Oh, Ruth Gordon. Oh, yeah.
Man, yeah, that was a stacked cast. That was good.
And the movie was good.
It is good.
But do you know what I'm saying where it could have been better?
I feel like what it did was it becomes in the near the end of the movie like a satire almost. It gets really, I mean, I remember it being funny, you know, and it's kind of a horrifying movie, but like by the end, you know, there's those like Asian tourists taking photographs of the babies and stuff. It takes such a bizarre turn.
Well, the Asian tourists were actually Asian practitioners of witchcraft.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. I mean,
they were all witches.
Oh, in the movie.
Yeah, you couldn't.
Wait, the real actors?
No. But
okay, yeah, the characters in the movie.
Yeah, the characters were all. You know, you could only get in that room if you were a witch, correct?
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying the way that they make it look like this stereotypical tourist thing, and they like are smiling, and it's funny, but I think that it was an interesting move by the director to decide to take it in that direction, and it just kind of leaves you uncomfortable, you know. Whereas, I don't know it's a tough climax to deal with.
It is
because the enemy isn't, you know, if she's gonna have the child or not. Once that decision is made, you know, that's kind of the end of the climax, because that's the options: is you either kill yourself or you have the baby, and she has it, full well knowing that.
Oh, she didn't know that she had the baby. She thought it was.
Oh, that's right. No, that does weaken the climax if she doesn't make the decision. Wait, she gets knocked out, I think, and then she wakes up without the baby.
They told her that it was a stillborn.
Oh.
And they took the baby from her, and they kept coming in, and the nurse kept taking her milk, because she didn't.
That's right.
And they kept drugging her.
Yeah.
Mia Farrow, and so that was pretty thrilling, because you get this woman trapped with these wackos. And she's in real danger. Wait Until Dark, Audrey Hepburn. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It is. And I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
and I jumped a mile.
Yeah.
Jumped a mile.
That's a tense movie. You're just kind of on pins and needles the whole time.
Because Audrey Hepburn is blind, and the director goes black. And you're in a room, and it's black. And you're seeing what she sees, which is...
Oh, sorry.
Nothing.
I like the part at the end when she hits out the lights.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert's on top of it. He's seen all the good ones.
That's awesome that, my God, at your age, that this old vintage movie, you've seen it. That's great.
Yeah, that's a great ploy.
I think it had sort of a cheesy beginning where it just said, "Wait until dark."
And there, was there like
over and over again? Do you remember that at the beginning?
There's like a theme song like that?
Yeah, at the very beginning.
I think seeing the movie in the theater is so important.
Yes.
Because I had seen Raging Bull. I don't know where it stands on my top now, but it was always one of my favorite movies. I still love it. But I saw it in the theater when I was in New York. They were replaying it, and it was amazing how much laughter there was. And if you had seen that, I mean, if you think about Raging Bull, you don't really think about comedy. You kind of think of like this really brutal, dramatic, violent biopic kind of,
It does go through a transition when it goes to the small screen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Avatar, I can't even consider Avatar on the small screen.
Yeah, I mean, it just loses a whole level to it. And when I couldn't, it was so amazing to be sitting in this theater in New York and people were laughing like it was a comedy. And my dad and I would watch it and we'd laugh at certain parts. And we kind of thought we were being weird for laughing at it. We thought it was like this in-joke between us that we thought that Joe Pesci's performance was so funny or that De Niro's response to things was so funny. But I think there's a clue there, though, in how to make a really dramatic movie is to have the contrast, to have funny parts. And because that movie does the whole range. If it's got people laughing in the theaters, like really laughing, not just like snickering, and it also has like really dark moments of despair, you gotta it's nice, you know. I mean, like a movie that I think tried to do that recently that I'm not a huge fan of, but Slumdog Millionaire. That movie kind of had the extreme highs and extreme lows. I'm not a huge. I mean, I love the director, but
who is it?
Danny Boyle. He did Trainspotting and a whole bunch of other movies, but I mean, yeah, it's just one of those movies where, you know, if you're gonna have something that it seems cartoonish, you know, but you gotta have it. You gotta have, like, you know, if your bad guy has to be really bad, if your good guy's gonna be really good, you know, to balance it out. That's what's good. That's what's scary about Harry Potter too. Good bad guy. The better the evil.
Do you want the chair, Robert? You can.
You want to take a break for a minute? No, just
leave at 8:30.
Well, yeah. So sit
then sit down, and I'll come back. And because I need to get some coffee.
Yeah, get some coffee, get some water going, and yeah. So that'll be interesting.
Hello.
What other Hitchcock movies have you seen? So, guys, you can call in or come down. The number is right there. No, it's right there. It's hard to. It's the opposite.
What's that Hitchcock movie where this guy it's like this strangler guy. He strangles people. I've seen it.
Is it in black and white or color?
It's in color, and it takes place in London. And it's about this guy who strangles.
Frenzy.
Yeah. And then he puts ties around their neck.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a satire kind of thing. I have not seen it, but I just read about it. I haven't seen that in Family Plot. Those are his last two movies. And he was near the end. I found out, though, that Hitchcock had a pacemaker implanted when he was 70 years old. And he used to tell everybody about it and show them the scar.
Well, I'm sure you don't really know that much about pacemakers, do you, Joe?
No, I don't, but I do know a lot about Hitchcock. And so I found that an interesting fact.
I have always noticed something interesting about Joe, and that's that Joe himself has a pacemaker.
I also have a pacemaker. So Hitchcock and I really have a lot in common. We're both brilliant directors. We both have pacemakers. We're both... Well, see, that's the difference. The big difference is that I like brunettes. He's more of a blonde. He's into the blondes.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? How every single movie he makes has a beautiful blonde woman in it?
Yes, I've noticed that.
But not going to kick Ingrid Bergman or Grace Kelly out of the bedroom, as so to speak. Although I think Ingrid Bergman was like 6'3". What are you doing, man?
I don't know.
Do you ever see The Elephant Man? No, wait. It can't. The show can't be that. That's boring. That's just listing movies. What is your favorite fruit, Robert?
Watermelon.
Really? It's pretty good.
Maybe cantaloupe.
Honeydew's the money melon.
What?
Honeydew melon. You ever had that?
No.
It's like light green. You've never had a honeydew melon? Oh, your parents are cool. They let you watch cool movies, but they're not giving you all the melon. What are you doing, man? People can't even tell what you're doing. He's pushing his nose into his own face. Just to... You wonder why he gets beat up.
In school?
Yeah. It doesn't really... Nobody gets beat up anymore, but... They don't need to get beat up, but it wouldn't hurt.
The world is just so verbal now.
Yeah, it's just... You would just text them or something. Hold on a moment, we have a call. Good evening, you're live on SOAPBOX. May I ask who's calling?
I'm really upset at him. My Celtics.
Oh, the Celtics are supposed to be on?
You guys keep interfering with my Celtics program. The signal.
Oh, yeah? We're coming in over the Celtics?
I keep getting it every Friday night with this show. What is this show?
This is SOAPBOX, sir. This is the live call-in show. Come down, talk about whatever you want, get your message out show.
I want to see Paul Pierce. Did he win last night?
No, he was traded. No, wait, who was traded? Eddie House was traded.
Eddie's no longer in the house.
Yeah, he's no longer in the house. That is right. Hey, why are you laughing now? Now you're happy? Now you don't mind? Maybe you could become a fan of this show and you'll get as excited about this as you are about your...
You can make your soapbox gloves.
Yeah, with a number 1 that says soapbox. We're going to do that literally next week.
Make
T-shirts.
Get stomach and face paint and be like...
Yes. If we get 10 people who want T-shirts, we'll make them. I would have no problem with that. And look, my hands are a little bit green. We've almost got the technical aspects of this show down. I think one more show. We kept it simple. For some reason, one light isn't on. That's given us a little bit weird, but this cut, that's what it's called, how good this line is here between the separation from the background. It's gotten better. You can only see a little bit of green. You know?
I gotta get back to the Celtics. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That was Rondo of the Celtics calling in. Upset that we're running over his show. Look at this. You know, Bowie has beautiful color eyes.
He did.
Yeah.
Did Bowie really
Don't I
have,
look like him?
Did Bowie really have
Do I
two
look like
different
him?
colored eyes?
Call in if you think I look like David Bowie.
You do.
A little bit?
Except you don't look German enough to look like David Bowie.
I'll look more German. Hang on. Oh, wait, my hair's parted the wrong way.
Like straight bony face, like.
Why are you...
Except wide lips, like.
So yeah, somebody call in. Why not?
Call in right there.
Don't cover the number. Figure out the number with us covering it. All right. I like lots of different things. What are some new other news items? Didn't you see something happened, right? Something happened in the news. How have you been watching the Olympics?
Yeah, I have. I was sad about that Japanese woman losing who wants her citizenship.
Yeah, so the story is, what's that woman's name?
I don't know. I don't remember.
So some woman that unfortunately we don't know the names of because we're ill-educated and ill-informed, but she left China to study skating or, changed her citizenship to Russia so she could be on the Russian skating team, right? And was she on the Russian skating team? And she lost. Or did she win?
She lost.
She lost. So she spent all this time, and now she's a Russian citizen and not I don't know, and she can't visit her family.
She gave up her Japanese citizenship.
Chinese citizenship, right?
Japanese.
It was Japanese?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's interesting. That changes the story a lot. Because, I was confused because I thought the Chinese were really usually very great at skating, there's some countries that there's certain events that they're just great at, like basketball, where we're pretty good at basketball, and Canada, I'm sure Canada and Sweden and Finland or whatever are good at curling or whatever.
And losing.
Scotland. That's where curling came from, I think.
Scotland.
It's a Scottish game. Call in if you know more about curling. I haven't seen it.
Or for any other reason.
Or any other reason. If you have a recipe or a poem or a drawing you want to describe to us.
Call in if you have a first name.
Yep. If you have a first name or a particularly funny middle name. Or there's that game where you...
Call in if you're a human. Or not.
Or not.
We're fine with other animals calling in.
Yep. Last week we had a couple chicks call in. And they couldn't get a peep out of them, though.
Yeah.
I'll get somebody to call in that can talk to us about current events. I'm not going to call my mom. She's in Maine. I know who would love to call in.
Who?
My roommates have, I know, something that they would like to promote, I'm sure. But,
Not us.
oh, hang on a moment.
Hello, you're on SOAPBOX.
Hi, I'm no longer in Maine, and I'm watching your show tonight.
Oh my God, it's my mom. Hi, Mom.
I think your conversation about Hitchcock was pretty amazing, considering you were talking about the difference between suspense and mystery.
Yeah.
Hi, Joe's mom.
Hello?
I'm a little bit disappointed you've never had honeydew melon before.
I know. Honeydew's the money melon. That's what I'm telling him. He doesn't even understand.
I think he's had it before. He just doesn't realize it.
It's yellow. It's green, light green.
No, I've never.
Pale green.
You've never had it? His favorite homemade dinner is
Chicken chip potato fingers.
chicken chip potato fingers.
Could you enunciate that a little bit better for me, please?
Chicken chip potato fingers.
And what is that?
It's chicken fingers with potato chips, like encrusting it, like just like covered in potato chips that are.
You could have been my child.
Yeah.
You could have tuna noodle casserole with that on top of it as well.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, chicken chip tuna.
Yeah, we had chicken chip tuna noodle potato finger casserole. That's what we had every night.
That was not one of Joey's favorites, I might add.
No, I'm not a big fan of that, even to this day. What did you eat tonight?
I had 2 pieces of pizza from a local restaurant, and there is homemade chicken soup on the stove for you, Joey. So
yeah.
I call him Joey. What do you call him, Robert? Do you call him Joe, Joey, Joseph, or does he call you anything besides Robert?
I sometimes call him the acclaimed director of One Track Mind.
Yeah, he calls me the acclaimed director sometimes.
Complimentary.
Yeah. We were jokingly going to start calling him Bobby, but it seems so weird. I can only call him Robert.
Yeah.
Nothing else seems to fit.
Yeah, he looks like a Robert to me.
Yeah, and Joe looks like a Rupert.
What?
Michael?
A Rupert. Like he looks like a Joe, but he also looks like a Rupert for some reason.
Does he look like a Joey to you at all?
No, he does. He looks like a Joe, but he also looks like a Rupert.
Look at how large my hair is in the back, Mom. You're gonna have
Well, that's because you haven't cut it yourself lately.
Well, no, the problem is that I did cut it myself, and that's, you can tell really the zone in which I can't get the angles, and none of my roommates will help me.
I think you should tell the listening audience, all 3 of them, that when was the last time you went and got your hair cut by Andy Monaco, who we love?
Yes.
By the way.
I mean, if you want a haircut, you might go there if you'd like that.
You can't promote anything.
I'm not promoting it.
When was the last time you had?
I don't know, a couple years. I don't know, 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
But it all started because I figured that he would cut my hair in a way that would accentuate my balding. That's where the fear came from.
I hate to tell you, there have been a couple of haircuts you've initiated on your own that look like you wanted to accentuate it.
Yeah, well, I didn't go to barber school, Mom. Sorry, all right? I failed that day in school, all right?
Subject with a very smooth segue into the comment about the favorite fruit. I am with Robert. Watermelon is the best.
Wrong.
Ow.
Followed by, what would you say, Joseph?
I don't know.
Cantaloupe is also pretty good, but
no, you're not
is
factoring in. I'm taking it like overall. Like my favorite is not an apple, but I mean I think that it's the best because it's pretty durable. You can take it with you, or like it's like a good. It's not my favorite tasting one. Like I like a peach, but a peach is tough. There's like 2 times a year you can get a peach that is good.
That is right. And strawberries locally grown strawberries are excellent, but the imported ones from California are terrible.
I agree. Blackberries were on sale this week. Got some of those. They're good for you.
To change the subject tonight, for the very first time, I saw curling on the Olympics, and it's actually a pretty interesting game to watch.
Yeah, have you been watching a lot of the Olympics?
No, because up in Maine I had no TV, so tonight's the first night of.
Mrs. Oaraka, I have a good question. What's the weirdest thing you've ever cooked for Joe to eat?
Weird?
Yes.
That's pretty easy. It was a hot dog casserole, which we also don't serve anymore in our household.
When did that? I don't even remember when that happened.
It had cottage cheese in it and some other variants.
Oh, brutal.
Yep.
That doesn't sound good.
So when I was up in Maine, I went into the local hardware store to pick up my paint, and I said to the guys up there, "Hey, so how much snow are we going to get?" And one of the guys turned to me and said, "We're going to get all of it, I imagine."
Old, crusty people from Maine.
Sense of humor.
Yep, the Maine sense of humor. I love it.
Very down to earth, no pretense.
Yeah.
Yes. Can we say that on the air? No BS?
You can say BS. You can even
say...
So,
Robert, have you watched any of the Olympics?
But.
Well, yeah, I've been enjoying the Olympics.
He was saying, we were talking about the Japanese figure skater who she
lost her citizenship.
Gave up her citizenship to join the Russian team and become a Russian citizen like 4 years ago.
And failed.
And then she still didn't medal. And now she has, I don't know, It's some
And
tragic story.
her partner like stormed off during it.
Her partner?
Well, her
skating partner?
Pairs?
I guess it's pears.
Pairs or a teammate?
It was pears.
Pears. That's a good fruit too.
Pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the criticisms I heard about, and you can relate to this because you're on TV. Joey, you're looking bored already.
I know, it's a joke, Mom.
No, now you're both looking bored.
Because
You're both looking ridiculous.
boring.
The comment that was made on the radio that one of the concerns about the Olympics was a lot of people were calling and saying that what they didn't like that there was no live feed of the events.
Yeah.
And that they would actually choose to show mostly Americans, a smattering of Canadians, and some of the other top contenders for medals, and not show lots of the other people who are really very good but not going to be medalists.
Right.
How do you feel about?
Well, I wonder how. I wonder how many cameras there are. We were actually talking about this earlier today because it's not like every country has cameras there. There's like they all get fed a certain signal. You know, they have They have like Olympic cameras. You know, and at least that's what I assume. And then every country must have like what we have with like a little Bob Costas like terminal. You know, where they like talk about the sports. Like I'm sure. You know, like China obviously has one of those kiosks for their, you know, and that's how it works. But they all get the same video feed. They broadcast
cameras.
them. They broadcast. See that can't be right either.
If they all had their own cameras, that would be way too many.
Yeah,
cameras.
think about that, Mom. If every country had their own cameras there'd be like 300 cameras for every location.
Right,
More like
but we're seeing it delayed. Is that correct? We're not seeing anything live.
Well, it's 3 hours back because it's right above California.
Right, but they must be editing because
they exactly.
Well,
That's
for example, in some of the jump runs in skiing, the comment on the radio had been that some of the athletes actually did the jump and then they cut right away to a commercial or a comment without actually seeing the actual facial expressions of the person who either just did a poor time or a great time. In other words,
so they're not covering it that well.
Visualization of it, yeah.
Wait, so the Olympics aren't live?
Well, no, they're not. Well, it depends.
Some of it.
It's live. It's live. It's like when we tape shows here, Robert, that don't go out live, but we edit them live, and then they replay them. Like they replay, because then they can put the events that are extremely popular in the best time slots. That's why in the evening it's like figure skating and stuff like that because people want it.
But then people can just find out about it like
on the internet and just find out who won. Yeah, I guess, and ruin it for themselves.
Yeah, I guess.
See, I was able to take a little bit of the signal or whatever from Ocean Point Marina while I was up there. So occasionally I would have internet through their wireless router or whatever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wouldn't. And when I wanted to see if I could get a live feed from the Olympics, it was virtually impossible when I was on to be able to get anything that showed a live, unedited feed of the Olympics, which I thought was a little bit strange.
Yeah.
I guess I would like to have that option to be able to
watch whatever event.
Athletic event without having...
Yeah, the problem is that then they can't cover every event with a broadcaster as well, you know? That's really complicated. I wonder how that all breaks down. I wonder how that all works.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that too.
That's interesting. Maybe
I don't want to monopolize your whole show because I'm sure you have other callers.
Oh yeah, we got them lined up.
But both of you fellows look excellent on TV. I'll leave you with that parting note as a mother to two young gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night, boys. Okay, Joe. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
You raised a good son, Mom.
I'm beginning to question that. What do you think, Robert? Weigh in on that one.
He's a good son.
Hey, listen, I know that you think that nobody watches this.
No, people, no. I've retracted that statement. We got the ball rolling on this. We got people watching it. We got Joe Viglione getting call-ins and stuff. We're no longer fledgling. We are
not for
powerful.
Medford Cable TV, or was it Cambridge? But Medford Cable TV got some... I want to say he was a criminal live to admit something on a cable show like yours. Who knows?
Got a criminal?
Yeah.
So you have anything to confess, Robert?
About
Whatever happened to that Lindbergh baby, Robert?
what Lindbergh baby?
What Lindbergh baby?
You're
say?
showing your youth and inexperience. On that high note.
Look at that. We're in the clouds for a second. Oh, now we're just in outer
You're in
space.
you're in the clouds, all right. Now you're back in the dungeon.
See, yeah, we're getting a nice. Doesn't it look good though? I mean, what does it look like through a digital box? Like, what is it?
It actually looks excellent. There is very little halo around you. Your audio is. I've got you cranked up to 85, and you're the same as you would be at 40. But the visual image is awesome.
So wait, yeah, we are actually. I want all the viewers to know that we are currently working on the audio for, especially for people getting a digital feed, because we do not have a digital feed here in the studio. We only get the analog feed, so which sounds fine here. And so we've been working with that, and there's just a lot. I mean, there's so many components that go into it, but yeah. So I mean,
I think your background tonight, even when you switch from one image to another, is not fluorescing around your body images there, like I've seen it some other times. So
one of the things we've been doing is this idea I came up with, but I think it's kind of working, is moving the camera really far away because it's a zoom lens, and having it be as telephoto as possible so that our plane is in focus and then the green screen plane is out of focus, making it more uniform. You get it? So we try and get the camera to have the lowest depth of field possible, but we can't really get the camera far enough back. So what we're going to do next time is move the table even more forward from where we are, and that'll give us bigger separation from the background. That's the plan.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Can I say one thing about Medford?
Yeah, hang on a second. Yeah.
Oh, you can stay.
Well, no, I'm actually... Well, yeah, come on in. Get up for 1 second, Robert, and stand behind here. So, other Joe wants to tell you something about Medford.
Hi, you brought up Medford?
To know about what happened with that Medford interview.
Mrs. LaRocca, hi.
This is Joe. This is the other guy who's on. You can see she's watching.
Ah.
I am watching.
Well, the mayor hired the judge from Woburn, Judge Jackson Thompson, to evaluate the TV station. And she found that it's a private access station, which people have been complaining about for years. It's not public access like this. And the mayor lets them do that. So it's a very, very bad situation.
What do you mean the mayor lets them bring on guests who then will...
Well, they've had some really bad programming, and they call it free speech, but when it's a private station and they're using it in a very strange way, I don't see how it's public access, and I don't see where they get a First Amendment. Where they control the airwaves because the mayor lets them, and they have some very, very strange people on the air.
Not like us, where we got the clean cut.
I guess I'm a little foggy on the details, but it was somebody who was interviewed on a show who was implicated in some incident, and I don't remember what it was about. But it was then picked up by local regular, TV, Channel 5, 4, 5, and 7, that this guy had talked about.
Oh, I get you.
Done it incorrect. And it may have been Cambridge. It may not have been Medford.
Yeah.
But my thought was, here is a show that was on that possibly the producers of the show thought, well, nobody will be watching this. And in fact, it was then picked up, excerpted, and picked up. And
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The Lola Lawrence incident. It was up there. Oh, is that where there was, I think there was nudity on TV?
No, God, no.
Oh, no, I remember. That was something else. Yeah, that was something else where, were you the one telling me that?
I didn't tell you that one, no, but I know about it.
Somebody told me, that there was basically, I don't know, what's the story with that?
Well, I think
There's
it was
a lot
a play.
of exciting things happen in access like this.
And they didn't put it in the safe harbor after 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. And it was on prime time, and I think one of the station managers, they had to let him go. He was a colleague of mine. I know the guy.
Yeah, I mean, we can really, on access, when you're public access, you really do have the ability to say anything and convey your points, but some things that are just too harsh for daytime television gets put, whether your station determines safe harbor as 10, 10:30, 11 or whatever. And I mean, I think that's totally fair because
yes,
television is it's too open, it's too accessible if you're just flipping channels, and we don't want to play, whether you're pro-abortion or anti-abortion, you don't want to play a program like that's just incredibly graphic. Some of the ones we play, there's got to be some parameters, you know.
Well, that was a big to-do up in Woburn. I'm sorry.
No. This particular piece that was either on Cambridge or cable TV was an example of something that was actually a very good issuing a report of a current event that had occurred.
Right, and that they had the...
And he gave some very interesting information and commentary, and I think it was with regard to something he had done, and local TV, Channel 4, 5, and 7, picked up on that excerpt from that cable TV show. So I guess my point is that when you least expect it, somebody may say something on your show. God knows it won't be me.
No, hopefully, but it could be something positive as well, you know?
Yeah, in other words, it wasn't...
I see what you're saying. Like, people are going to be archiving, when Robert makes, when he turns 16 and makes the first 16-year-old to make a feature movie or something, and then,
Listen, I think Robert, at his age, is doing really outstanding... Well, thoroughly outstanding.
Yeah, he's
a lot of kids his age would never be doing. So, way to go, Robert.
Yeah, a lot of kids his age can read and write, but to each his own.
Nice to meet you. Did you say Joe is your name?
I'm Joe. He's Joseph. Your son is Joseph. That's how we differentiate the two here.
Yeah, I'm Joseph here when Joe is here. I think that Steve calls me Joe.
Gentlemen, it's a pleasure, and it's time for me to go.
Okay, I will talk to you soon, Mom.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Does Robert want to go back on? Or?
Robert, you wanna wrap up your thing? I'm gonna wrap up my thing.
My dad's coming to pick me up.
Is Ben here? Is that who's changing the backgrounds?
No.
Oh, but that's good to hear that people on digital boxes are getting better sound, and they're getting a good cut on the image. That's awesome. You're like shedding, dude.
I was going to ask you if next week you can interview a film director of that movie.
Yes, let's do it. Marty Ballin live at the Boston Esplanade. Who's the director?
The producer and director of that is actually in WinCam tonight.
Oh, really? It's you?
Yes, it's my first feature-length film.
All right.
You made this?
November 17th it came out, so it's brand new.
Took me
14 years.
This.
I'm the director.
This is awesome.
At the Boston Esplanade, where the Boston Pops play.
And when was the concert recorded?
Concert was recorded. Was this lab work?
No, that's the one that died. So you're just taking...
The concert was recorded. Let's see, on June 14th, 2008. 3 tracks were recording on June 13th, 2008 at Wilmington's Newbury Media. Some of the stuff was done out in the Midwest. People sent me the footage. We utilized it. Mm-hmm. My interview with Marty was 1995, the very first visual radio.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so my very first TV show is now on DVD. It shows you the power of public access.
Tracks too, yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's like what my mom was saying. I mean, it's... Look at this. This is a DVD in cellophane, man, It's real. That's great. Well, yeah, you can be on and talk about that. What else we got here?
Oh, I just got these in the mail today. Mick Taylor is a friend of mine.
Mick Taylor
was in a band called the Rolling Stones. He's a dear friend of mine. He was on visual radio, and I can't believe I just got this.
The Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them.
Mick Taylor replaced... Mick... Sorry, Robert. I don't mean to push you off your
No,
his show.
dad just came.
Oh. Okay. I just got this box in the mail, and Mick Taylor... replaced...
Is your dad here? You come in, dude.
Replaced Brian Jones in the Rolling Stones.
Ah.
And I used to manage the Rolling Stones producer, Jimmy Miller. And for many years, and in 1988, Jimmy was supposed to produce Marty Ballin. It never happened. But Marty and I stayed friends all these years.
And it happened. So it took years, 18 years to get it going.
My first public access show was 1979.
Wow.
So when I started, I went in 1992, I was going to start it again. I waited till 95. And Marty, I said, Marty, I want you to be my first guest.
All right, take it easy, Robert.
All right, see you guys.
Good night. Thanks for helping out with the show. I said, Marty, you're going to be in Cambridge. I said, with the House of Blues. I said, I want to interview you.
The old House of Blues.
Yeah, you're my first guest on my new show. And he goes, okay, I'm going to be at the bookstores. Find me. I'll be in town for 3 days. I'll be in the bookstores. You can find me. It's like, right. I called his father up.
There's
Hey, Joe.
Boston. There's about 700 bookstores in Boston, too.
And Marty's father's the same name as us.
Yep. Okay.
Joe Buck. So, hey, Joe, where's your son? He gave me the hotel phone number. I said, thank you. Hey, Marty, it's Joe. He goes, well, come to the show. We'll do it after the show. The House of Blues owns the room. You can't. They let me videotape Adam Ezra a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. The Adam Ezra band in the...
They've played on our Music Closet. Did you know that? Yeah, they've played on our Music Closet, produced by Jeff Dearman, right in his studio.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I went and
They're
videotaped
great.
them. They are.
But really, potentially have a career. They got all the stuff.
They have a good manager.
And they look right. They're like a band. You know, they look like the lead singer is very...
Adam's a journeyman.
Yeah, he looks
and
good.
He's still young enough, but old enough. You know, he's still a young man, but he's been on the circuit. Mm-hmm. So we went to the House of Blues. They let us tape Adam Ezra a month or so ago. Just where they were performing, we couldn't tape the House of Blues decor because they own
it's interesting. Yeah, there's so many strange rights about that.
So they wouldn't let us. Teo was the manager of the House of Blues. He passed away, unfortunately. But Teo said, Joe, I'm sorry, you can't use the dressing room because we own it. But I want to go to the interview. So okay, he's really cool. You know, it's legit. You know, and we knew that. So we went over to the hotel, and on this is the. It's great because people are sending me, wow, you don't see a rock star on his bed with his guitar talking to you for 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's very rare to get that. You know, there's only that of like maybe the most famous. There seems to be for surface footage of that. But yeah, usually you get really stilted interviews where it's like 100 people. You know, it's like a press conference. You're not going to get a very intimate interview from that, you know.
Well, he's a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, so when we have him doing that, it's just kind of unique.
Yeah.
You know, if you'd like to have it.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love to watch it.
If you wouldn't mind interviewing me, you don't have to, but if you can talk to me next week about it, it'd be great.
Yeah, yes, that'll be great. You better know your stuff because I'm gonna grill you. You should know.
I lived this thing. I lived it. And I made some mistakes. I'll tell you what I forgot to do. Dee Dee Stewart is a professor at Berkeley. She's the female lead. I wanted her on the 1992 album I did with Marty in New Hampshire. He lives in Florida. So they came up to New Hampshire, and the vocals were already done. So it was 2008, 1992. 16 years later, I called Dee Dee up. I said, I want you to play with Marty. I won't take no for an answer. And she's on the Esplanade with him. And there was a reason I brought up Dee Dee Stewart's name on here. We've got it up on YouTube. There's a couple of clips up on YouTube, but only one camera. What I did, and you're going to find this interesting, Joe, I have a camera from Winthrop Cable, a nice GL.
Yep. GL1, GL2?
Yep, GL1.
Yep, good camera.
The other cameras I did, one of my guests was Cracker, and they took cameras from the audience and edited them together, so I took...
Oh, that's very cool.
6 more of the 8 cameras in the audience. We get 6 of them. And my camera, you can tell that my camera and the bass player, Dave Truppi, had it on a tripod. Ours are the high-tech ones.
Yep. But whatever. You got the other priceless footage also from other people's cameras. Get a different angle.
You know, we pulled it in a real Roger Corman budget.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay? If someone gave me, tens of thousands, we could have went in and
had a
really,
crane, yeah.
Well, no, I'm even thinking with the editing.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. And
we could have spent hours painstakingly really making it awesome. It is what it is, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to get it out somehow. And I think that the amount of cameras that are just people just have are, I mean, if some event happened. So, I mean, a good thing or a bad thing, whichever way it was, something like, there'd be so much footage. Like, even September 11th, there's so much footage from that. But even now, 10 years later, there would be, I mean, I feel like there'd be 4 times as much footage of everybody getting out their iPhones and pictures. And
you're right.
It would have been,
right.
I mean, and I think there's so much footage of that, and that was only 2001, you know.
Wow,
what else? Keep going.
These just came in the mail. I just opened this in the car. Richard Hell and the Voidoids. I saw them. I love this band.
I do not know this band.
New Wave group.
Okay, yeah.
I saw them live. They had a great guitar
80s, yeah.
sound. They were one of the better bands in the New Wave. They should have been bigger. I've never heard of Incognito.
Incognito. They have a lot of songs.
For people in the audience, for 9 years I wrote for allmusic.com.
Ah.
And I did about 4,000 reviews for allmovie.com, AllMusic. So I was reviewing, I'm still reviewing these for other outlets now. Frank Zappa, The Freakout List.
Look at that. That's funny. We were talking about Frank Zappa recently, and we found this awesome footage that you can go on YouTube and look up. We were going to play it on the station, but the version we got was very low quality, but it's of him on Crossfire, an old CNN show,
right?
Talking about
with Bill Press.
Yeah, talking about this was in the late '80s when they were trying to figure out they wanted to eliminate 7 words from songs that could not be on the radio. Period. And this actually built up to the point where that led to parental advisories in the early '90s, the parental advisory sticker. So he goes on there, and it's pretty interesting to watch him in the crossfire, because
really
he does say some inappropriate things, but his point is so strong. He is an absolutist of the First Amendment, and he doesn't think the words are going to be what affects it. And they started attacking him, his lyrics and stuff, and he was like, he's like, this isn't about me, my music is, whatever. He doesn't have very drastically inappropriate lyrics.
No.
He doesn't use those 7 words that they can't say or whatever. But
he might in a funny way once in a great while.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing, But it's funny to have it get turned on him just because he
can be vulgar. Don't eat the yellow snow. That's vulgar.
I think that was his highest single too.
Probably was. Now this is weird. It's "I Am Virgin," special appearance by Ron Jeremy. Oh my God. Probably the world's ugliest man.
Yep.
One lonely man, 6 billion sex-crazed vampires. Be careful what you wish for. I am virgin.
Oh, it's like an I Am Legend. That's what it is. I just put it together.
With 12 additional minutes not seen in the theatrical version.
In case you missed I Am Virgin in the theaters. Because I know it had a big release.
I never even heard of it.
There's 12 more virgins in it. It actually looks quite intriguing.
Well, the vampire thing. It's the vampire thing, and it's big again.
People love vampires.
But the funny thing is Marty Ballin and Mick Taylor have the same lawyer. And I've worked with that law firm in New York for negotiations and things. Very nice company. It's great to see Mick Taylor. Mick Taylor replaced Brian Jones in the Rolling Stones, and he played on all their mega golden hits. Brown Sugar, Can't Always Get What You Want, and the Jimmy Miller era. So this is great to have a Mick Taylor DVD. And he does You Shook Me. He's a blues guitarist. Blind Willie McTell.
Oh, okay, I get it.
In a Stone song, No Expectations, and On the Road with Mick Taylor. You know what I can do, Joe? I can bring some Mick Taylor footage. We'll do a show, a visual radio, and we can play the old footage I have.
Okay.
Of him on the show. But isn't this great?
Yeah, boys and girls, start writing reviews. You get movies for free.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
if you're good enough,
I love getting my movies. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work to write a review.
Close friend of mine, Michael Patrick Brady, you might see his reviews every once in a while.
90 seconds.
We have 90 seconds, so I'll just get this out. But he gets sent, the amount of records or CDs he gets sent is crazy. He gets sent, it started out he was doing it for fun, to get a handful of reviews. And now, it's gotten to the point where one of his reviews was quoted on the sticker that they put on the album.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, it was great because he's written for the Phoenix and I don't even know all the different places, but yeah, it's been amazing that's a good way to get free things. I'm a proponent of free legal things.
Yep.
And I think that
Blank Generation.
And you build your resume. He has hundreds of music reviews. It started out as fun, and so we are out. Bowie. Music, movies, WinCam. Are we off? We got 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I'm going to cough.
I'm going to sing a song for the last 30 seconds into the mic. I'm not going to.
No, we should.
Really quickly, do we have websites we want people to go to? Go to wincam.org.
And next week we got Nelson Slater.
Nelson Slater's
calling in next week. Famous recording artist.
Okay, and
recording artist on RCA Records.
And I will plan something really special in Robert. So good night, everybody. Drive safe, neuter your pets, and eat all your vegetables.